Good evening, Messiah, and welcome to a very special episode of YB Tonight. I'm your host, Charles Jones, joined by members of Cinemablography, Lorelai Getman and Josiah Rodriguez, as well as one of our very own YB Tonight writers, Jimmy Houston, and of course, film major Cora Botts. So, let's talk about the nominees for the 2026 Oscar Academy Awards in a very special crossover episode between YB Tonight and Cinemablography. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
It's great to
Glad
have
to
you
be
guys
here.
We've never had this many guests at once, at least not on a normal show we don't, but this is a special night. So, real quick, Lorelai, Josiah, would you guys mind telling us a little bit about Cinemablography and your role at it?
Yeah, so we just like to write about movies, and it's usually from the 2000s and on, and we write articles and reviews, and
Yeah, we try to release as many as we can when we can, and yeah, we cover a lot of different genres, from more artsy films to more blockbuster hits, and we have a big passion for it. So it's something we love to do, and we love to talk about what we love.
Fantastic. And where would I go if I wanted to see your work?
That would be on cinemablography.org, where you can see articles by both myself and Lorelai, as well as past articles by other writers.
and we also have a TikTok, an Instagram, Facebook, and a new letterbox that we just opened.
Ooh, fancy. Well, alrighty, let's kickstart this conversation with the nominations for Best Picture, which consists of Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train's Dreams. Any thoughts on those picks and who you think should win Best Picture?
Personally, as of right now, I do think that for who will win, I think it's between One Battle After Another and Sinners. One Battle After Another has been winning many precursors as of now, but Sinners has been coming very strong from the behind with a lot of other different award nominations and wins. Recently, there were the BAFTAs where Sinners picked up a lot of awards, and while One Battle did win Best Film, Best Director, and Best Adapted Screenplay, Sinners did make some big surprises with Screenplay Original, Supporting Actress, and Score. And it kind of shows some strength for it. I do think that Sinners has a shot, but One Battle seems to be the current frontrunner as of now.
Absolutely. I think they're both two very big juggernauts in their own respective ways. However, I will say my personal vote is for Sinners. I just absolutely love it. You can't go wrong with a double dose of Michael B. Jordan. I mean, what were your thoughts?
Oh, I would agree with you. Although I haven't seen a few of the movies nominated for Best Picture, I would also agree. I came out of that theater for Sinners, and I was just like blown away by the cinematography, the lighting. I feel like I had never really seen a film that had done that, and I was confident that it would at least be in the running for Best Picture this year. So I'm happy to see that it's led up to this point.
Absolutely. I mean, they had some beautiful camera work there. That one shot that they did throughout the dance sequence where they had
the juke joint.
Yeah, the juke joint dance sequence. Thank you. It's a 3-minute long one shot, although technically wasn't actually a one shot. It was just they had to the IMAX camera they were shooting on kept powering off like a minute in, so they had to cut it together. But they did it so seamlessly. I mean, I didn't even notice until I looked it up afterwards. What did you think, Lorelai?
I mean, I think though, like, I definitely want like either Sinners or One Battle After Another, but my personal favorite is Hamnet. It's so beautiful and so heart-wrenching. It's like truly just a tragedy, but so beautiful. And I think even though if it doesn't win like best overall, I think it's still just a great movie to be considered.
Absolutely. I mean, it truly is such a gut-wrenching and beautiful tale. What did you think, Jimmy?
I also have to say I think Sinners will probably win. To me, Sinners is just the one that, like, I think 20 years from now, looking back at this year, like, Sinners would be the one movie people would remember and that would, like, stay in, like, the cultural zeitgeist a little bit. My favorite movie from the year that was nominated was actually Begonia. I really, really liked it. I don't really think it has a super high chance of winning, but I thought that it was really solid all around. I'm not even a big like Yorgos fan usually, but I thought that it was a really solid film, and I didn't really have any specific flaws that I found in it. Like I kind of just liked it all around. So I'd love to see that win, but I don't think it will. But I think Sinners is probably the most culturally relevant as well, which might play into it.
That's such an excellent point. I truly agree. I think you really can't put a score on that, you know? There's something about it that just feels timeless, even though it's only been out for a few months.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you guys so much for your insight. Moving right along, after the break, we will be discussing the choices for Best Director. Stay tuned. Welcome back to YB Tonight. I, as always, am Charles Jones. Now, let's dive right back into the Oscar discussion with our guests here. And the next category, directing. Now, the choices here are Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. I don't know how to read this name. We're going to try our best. Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Any thoughts on that? Jimmy, what are your thoughts on Best Director?
I've always been a Safdie Brothers fan, so I'm very partial to Marty Supreme winning, but I do think that, again, like I could see Sinners pretty easily taking that. I feel like for me it comes down to like how different that movie felt from other stuff that existed, because as much as I loved Marty Supreme, like it's not that different from the rest of Josh Safdie's filmography. So I don't know if like, in my mind, out of all the films he's directed, like him and his brother, it doesn't feel like this is necessarily like the one that would be above the rest. And since he hasn't won in the past, I don't know, to me that feels like Sinners is a more like standout, like wow, this is like kind of like a career-defining directorial vision.
Absolutely, I agree. It is very, it's very similar to a lot of his previous work. I think we have seen plenty of these, you know, sort of mockumentary movies, or sorry, excuse me, not mockumentary, but sort of like based on a true story movies that, frankly, we're not sick of them yet, but we're getting there. You know, I feel like there's got to be a little bit of a shaking up the formula. And honestly, I mean, I will say, my vote's got to go for Coogler. If not for the beautiful cinematography in Sinners, then it's going to have to be for just having a really fun last name. I mean, Coogler? Come on, that's awesome. What are your thoughts, Lorelai?
I think either both of those, or well, either of those, or Paul Thomas Anderson. I think he's PTA. People know him as PTA. So he's definitely a big, well-known director that could, with like a different twist on his usual genre, could take it home.
Absolutely. I mean, it is such a beautiful film. I mean, you know, it's an Oscar nom for a reason. You know, it's always going to look great. They're always going to look great. Josiah, what were your thoughts?
I do think that first off, as all the nominations, incredible, amazing directors. My personal pick would have to be PTA Paul Thomas Anderson, one of the best directors of the last few years. He really branched out of his comfort zone of more slow or meditative pieces, or he's had some faster works in the past, but nothing like One Battle After Another, some exhilarating action, some really dense sequences, and it just flies by. And the sequences he crafts, the images he leaves you with, the ideas he explores with One Battle After Another, it's truly an exhilarating watch. I would say that's probably my pick for Best Director. I do think as of right now, even if One Battle doesn't win Best Picture, he has a really good chance at director with all them. He's won Golden Globes, he's won BAFTA, he's won DGA. As of right now, he's got all the precursors ready, unless we have another upset with one of the other precursors. I really hope that he wins. He was phenomenal with what he crafted, and yeah, that's my thoughts.
So it seems like we've got two Paul Thomas Fandersons over here, and then some, you know, Coogler heads. Cora, you're the tiebreaker. What are your thoughts?
I was about to say, I have to go for Coogler, you know?
Yes! Good choice. Great choice.
Yes.
Right choice.
You know, I just feel like sometimes with a director, you can really tell when they're really passionate about the story they're bringing to screen. And I feel like Coogler really just brings, in all the interviews I've seen of him and podcasts that he's done, it just seems to me how so obvious that he just has so much emotion behind his storytelling, and he has researched and all of the history that has gone into making Sinners. I think, especially with the songwriting too, I feel like there wasn't an element that he really let drop, which I think is very impressive from a directorial standpoint.
Absolutely. I mean, he really put in that work, did such a great job of recreating a historically accurate version of the Mississippi Delta. And I think, there was really never a moment wasted. Every glance, every character interaction was something or had some sort of information about the character themselves. And of course, that is also a testament to the actors. But I mean, truly, I think Coogler's got this one in the bag. I mean, he put in the work, he put in the time, and it really shows. Well, now, we're going to have a quick question here for you. What was your favorite movie of 2025? Let's go straight down the line. Lorelai?
Does it have to be Oscar
It doesn't have to be
Okay.
any movie.
Crazy pull, but Death of a Unicorn.
Ooh.
It's like a thriller horror from A24. Yeah, I don't know. It's just dark comedy, but also a lot of, but it's fun. I don't know why I like it, but I just do.
Hey, that's what movies are for. They're supposed to be fun and enjoyable. What do you think, or what's your pick, Josiah?
Honestly, it's really hard to just narrow it down to one. It would be between The Secret Agent, another one of the Best Picture nominations. It was a Brazilian film that I absolutely adored. It was just an accident. It was another film that it almost got into Best Picture. It was really close, and it was a phenomenal piece on how suffering under the Iranian regime was. And then One Battle After Another was just breathtaking. I loved it from start to finish, what it has to say about modern politics, how it satirizes them and comments on them in a really insightful way, all while just being this really incredible thriller/comedy. It's just, I don't know, I'm still blown away by it.
Wow. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's so well put. Cora, what was your pick?
For me, I think in terms of Oscar nominees, I'd go with Sentimental Value. I feel like I had the ability to watch that in the theaters in between both of my parents, and it was just really, interesting to see how fleshed out the characters were in that, and all of just the little details in that film, and also the commentary on directing and acting out of itself I feel like I could learn a lot from everything portrayed in that. I would also like to say Zootopia 2, fantastic movie, I loved it. I think I took my brothers to see that one. They're both younger than me, and I probably enjoyed it more than they did. But
Wow, I mean, I gotta say, just out of bitter spite, because I had a bit of an opposite story, I hated Zootopia 2.
Really?
Not because I saw it, but actually because my two younger brothers went to see it without me. And I could have gone, but I also couldn't have. So
That's a great watch. If they're showing it here at Messiah, you should watch it.
I think I might go. A little plug for Lost Films there. And now, Jimmy, last but most certainly not least, what's your big pick from the Big 2-5?
It's a little hard for me. I have a lot of options. One that I want to shout out is Eternity. I really liked that movie. Thought it was super solid all the way through, and I was sad that I didn't expect it to get Oscar nominations, but I was still sad. But surprisingly, I think my favorite was The Long Walk, which I had not very high expectations going into it all. But I won't lie, I wept in that theater. That story hit me, bro. I don't know what it was, but I sat down oh, okay, this will be fun, whatever, Stephen King adaptation, sure. But yeah, no, I thought that right on a writing level, on an acting level, even on a directing level, for a movie of people walking for 2 hours, I mean, it was pretty impactful, I thought.
Absolutely. I mean, the character work throughout that movie is just
Insane.
phenomenal. Yeah, The Long Walk, man. Well, you can say that again. Now let's go see what other students on Messiah think on this week's Falcon on the Street with Sydney Otto, excuse me. Sid?
Hello, my name is Sydney Otto. Welcome back to Falcon on the Street, and today I'll be asking students on campus what is their favorite film that came out in 2025.
My favorite movie from 2025 was Song Sung Blue, which was about people that sang Neil Diamond songs. It was a true story.
Ballerina.
Weapons.
Probably Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
For me, Wicked for Good.
My favorite movie from 2025 was Begonia.
My favorite movie from 2025 was Minecraft and Wicked 2.
What was your favorite movie that came out in 2025?
I'd have to go with Frankenstein.
What was your favorite movie that came out in 2025?
It's a great question. I'd have to go with Thunderbolts.
Yeah, very good movie. I haven't seen it, but How to Train Your Dragon live action, that'd probably be my favorite one if I saw it.
I would say The Long Walk.
That would be between The Secret Agent and One Battle After Another. Those were my top two of the year.
We got a lot of good answers. My favorite movie from 2025 is between One Battle After Another and Marty Supreme. That is it for Falcon on the Street for this week. Off back to Charlie Jones in the studio.
Thanks, Sydney. We'll be right back after the break to continue the discussion for our nominees in Best Leading Actor and Actress. Stay tuned. Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Charles Jones. Picking up right where we left off with the nominees for Best Actor in a Leading Role. The contestants are Timothée Chalamet in Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Wagner Moura from The Secret Agent. Now, guys, who are your picks for Best Actor? Let's start with Cora.
Well, this might be a bit redundant with what I've already said here, but I do believe that Michael B. Jordan has it. Now, I haven't seen The Secret Agent yet, and I've heard that his performance was very remarkable. So we may see how that shakes out. But Michael B. Jordan.
It's Michael B. Jordan.
That's what I'm saying, guys.
And I mean, he plays twins, and yet he still somehow makes both of the characters feel so unique and so different. And even he worked with twins on set to learn the intricacies of actually portraying a real twin on camera, and incorporating those the differences in their mannerisms and their speech patterns. I think it's really just a beautiful job overall, and they really feel like two very distinct characters. What were your thoughts, Josiah?
Honestly, all of these nominations, straight out phenomenal, stunning performances from everybody. Personally, I would have to say Timothée Chalamet, Marty Supreme. It's arguably his best performance as to date, and he's had a lot of incredible performances, but what he went with in this movie was incredible. If not him, I would say probably Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan was phenomenal in Sinners and how he gave those two twins distinct personalities. But honestly, any of these phenomenal actors could win. Any of them would be totally deserved.
All right. And Lorelai, what are your thoughts?
I'm definitely on the Michael B. Jordan train. Yeah, because he did two jobs at the same time. Yeah, and maybe just Leonardo DiCaprio for the fun of it. But mainly Michael B. Jordan.
Nice. And Jimmy?
I actually do have to go with Timothée Chalamet here.
Wow.
I think that for him, this is a peak career performance that he'll be remembered for, where I think Michael B. is he's great. And I think this is an amazing role, but I think he'll have other just as memorable roles in the future. And for me, I don't know, this feels like, because a lot of actors have that one performance where it's wow, they embodied that character. And that feels like that's what this is for Timothy. It also helps that Marty Supreme's a little more protagonist-driven than Sinners is. So I think that might also have something to do with it. But yeah, I think that he might squeak ahead on this, although, yeah, like Josiah said, everyone's completely deserving in this category.
No, I definitely see what you're saying there, although I am going to have to agree because, frankly, I think Timothée Chalamet's most career-defining role was Smoke Cheddar to Cash Getta on SNL. Frankly, it's just standout performance, Oscar-worthy in its own right.
Absolutely.
He is amazing on SNL.
Yeah. And I will say, on a serious note, seeing the behind-the-scenes footage from Sinners, that the face capture rig that Michael B. Jordan had to wear, where it's what was it, like 16 cameras all like mounted on his
Something like
shoulder and
that.
around his face. I gotta say, I don't know how anyone could act with that thing on. I mean, I would be looking in the camera every single time. I think there's no getting around it. But that being said, let's shift the conversation from Best Actor to Best Actress in a leading role. The choices are Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue, Renate Reinsve?
Renata Reinsve.
Renata Reinsve, excuse me, for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia. Now, how are we feeling about these nominees? Let's start with you, Jimmy.
Well, I don't have much to weigh in on because I've only seen Begonia. So out of all these options, I mean, Emma Stone's great, of course, as always. But I haven't seen the other films, so I don't feel like I have much I can weigh in on this.
Absolutely. Well, how do you feel her performance compares to some of her other works? I know she was known very initially as a very comedic actress, so this is definitely a bit of a departure from that sort of image.
Yeah.
And I think we've been seeing a lot of that lately with a lot of different actors, but Emma Stone most especially.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought even like when she has taken on more serious roles, like in Poor Things, which she won an Oscar for. I think that was like still she kind of plays the more like innocent, good-natured character within the story, and a lot of the stories she does. So I think this was an interesting like kind of shift in that for her to play such. I don't want to spoil anything, but such a different type of character from that, such a more evil type character. So I thought that was really cool, and I think that it'd be cool to see her win for that.
Absolutely. Lorelai, what were your thoughts?
I am rooting for Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. Such a performance, so again heart-wrenching, and like you can she gave every emotion to it, from happy to sad, and she just won a BAFTA for Best Actress. And but also I know that Rose Byrne is also great in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. With just how, again, emotional she was, and like how she was like, the whole film is like just emotion after like boom, 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 like, yeah, just raw emotion. But I think definitely rooting for Jessie Buckley and Hamnet.
Absolutely. I will say I did really love If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I think that it's told so beautifully, and it conveys so much emotion, and I truly think that is a well-earned nomination, without a doubt. What did you think, Cora?
Well, similar to Jimmy, I've only seen Sentimental Value on that list, so I would root for her. I feel like something about just that film, maybe it was the mix of like just I don't even know, like there's just so much freshness that I feel like that brought, like just the pacing of the movie overall, which is not the actress, I know, but I feel like her portrayal of her character was very exact in a way. Like she has a panic attack early on in the film, and I felt like her portrayal of that was just something honestly very relatable, and it was very raw, and I connected very deeply with her character in that moment.
I mean, absolutely. I truly think it's such again, just another beautiful film. I feel like a broken record at this point. Now, let's finish off strong with Josiah.
Honestly, I am rooting for Jessie Buckley. In my mind, she has to win this. Like, what she does in that movie, the physical drain, the emotional burden that she carries throughout that runtime, from the early romance, that tragic loss that she faces, it's a devastating watch. And what she goes through in that movie is nothing short of just, it feels almost spiritual in a way in what she does. And I feel like she has to have the Oscar for it in what she's able to convey, and I truly am astounded by it. Now, Rose Byrne, like Lorelai was mentioning, also incredible, but Jessie Buckley has my vote.
Fantastic. I mean, yeah, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, truly, Hamnet does such a wonderful job, or I should say, Jessie Buckley does such a wonderful job in Hamnet, because while it is a beautifully written story, it can't do anything without her standout performance and truly drawing the audience in and imparting her emotions onto them. I think that is truly the mark of a great actor, or actress, I should say.
Yes.
Well, we're going to head to a quick break, but right after, we'll be talking about the choices for Best Supporting Actor and Actresses. Stay tuned. Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm Charlie Jones. Now, moving right along, let's talk about the choices for Best Supporting Actors and Actresses. We'll be starting with Best Supporting Actors, which consists of Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Now, starting on my right, Josiah, what are your thoughts on Best Supporting Actor or Actress?
Honestly, I do think that first off, great performances. Sean Penn needs to win this. What he does in this film, one of the best villain performances, I think, of the 21st century. Up there with Heath Ledger Joker, Anton Chigurh, Hans Landa, all these great cinematic villains that we've got over the last few years. He's terrifying. He is a wreck to follow. He is a stupid lunatic to follow. And what Sean Penn does, he transforms into this literal monster as we go through his psyche and we explore his stupid and honestly quite hilarious motivations as we soon realize what he's truly after. And he really embodies this character in a way I haven't seen any other actor maybe this year. It's a truly transformative performance that I do think deserves to win. Now, will he win? I'm not sure. Supporting actor has been a very hectic category, but I would like him to be the one who eventually gets that gold trophy.
Absolutely. I am going to have to agree with you on that. I think Sean Penn really knocked that villain out of the park. Truly, I mean, there is something to be said about an actor who can really make you hate an antagonist. Like, you just actually feel that raw hatred in your heart where you're just like, man, I wish I could do something, but...
I agree. I would probably punch him in the face if he was an actual person.
Exactly. Lorelai, what were your thoughts?
I think either Stellan Skarsgård, because he's just like, he's been around and like he knows what he's doing. He's just a classic, you know. And I think the way he presents the emotions of Sentimental Value really just delivers. Or Jacob Elordi, I'm kind of counting on, rooting for, because he, similar, literally, well, he does turn into the monster, and like the way he like studied to contort his body to like make it really just engulf the audience into the character of Frankenstein's monster, and to portray the like emotions that the monster feels.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it does take a lot for an actor who, you know, is assumedly human. You know, shout out to all those animal actors out there. We love and appreciate your work. Wish there was a category for you. But I think there really is something to be said about truly embodying like this non-human character. That is, I mean, that's truly like the entire plot rides on that. That's the story. Now, moving right along, Cora, what are your thoughts?
I would say actually the exact same picks that Lorelai said. I really like Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. I feel like his portrayal of a father who was maybe not quite there in all the ways that he should have been for his children was just very poignant, and connecting all of the little moments that he had connecting with the lead actress. You could feel like, you could tell that they did deep character work on that to build that bond. And then with Frankenstein, I haven't finished the movie yet, but just the prep for any actor to take on the role of Frankenstein is just, it seems so demanding. Like, I've seen Benedict Cumberbatch took on it in a stage production of it, and he did amazing as well. But just the sheer will and getting into the mind of it, as you were saying, I couldn't imagine it myself.
Yeah, I mean, well put. And it's Cumberbatch, not Batch? I'm asking you, because he's British. So
one thing that I do is I say his name wrong. Like, I typically go for like Benicio Cucumber or something like that every time, so I have not had to say it yet in a professional setting. So that's where I am.
Hey, that's incredibly valid. I will say I also don't have a lot of practice saying his name correctly. Now, last, but of course not least, Jimmy, who's got your vote for Best Supporting Actor?
Well, I won't lie. As much as I think all these performances were great, a lot of the people I wanted to be nominated kind of weren't. But out of these options, I think that Sean Penn has a really high chance of winning. I liked his performance, but I also just think that, like, from the past, like, we've seen that, like, villains that are really memorable, like, really leave an impact, and I think that that'll be the case here. I think to me the most memorable part of that movie was his character.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I will say, speaking of actors who we believe got snubbed, Jason Momoa's role in Minecraft movie, frankly, the Minecraft film was just, it's ridiculous, and it's absolutely indicative of the corruption of moral values within the Oscars. I mean, they just truly can't be honest with themselves, and they can't be honest with the world.
It's a corrupt society.
It really is. It's all about who you know. It's just playing that politics game. And frankly, I think the Academy needs to do better and recognize him for his genre-defining work in that movie.
Even Jack Black as Steve, I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh.
What a snub.
Well, Best Actor, frankly. I think he should have had it. He should have just won all of them. For oh, man. No, what a terrible movie it was. It's fun. It's a fun movie. But I think as an Oscar nom, nah.
Yeah.
Well, with all that being said, let's move right along into Best Supporting Actresses. Our choices are Elle Fanning from Sentimental Value, Inga Ibsdottir, Lilias?
Yeah.
Great. Also from Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan from Weapons, Wunmi Mosaku from Sinners, and Teyana Taylor also from Sinners.
One battle after another.
Oh, it's one battle after another? Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, let's start to my left. Jimmy, what are your thoughts?
Well, I haven't seen all of these nominees. I haven't seen Sentimental Value, so that already cuts out a couple options. I have mixed feelings. I think Tana did a very good job in One Battle After Another. I think that I do wish we saw more of her character, honestly. That's my biggest complaint with the role, is that, like, I loved her and I wanted to see more of her. But she was probably my personal choice. As far as who I think will win, again, I haven't seen Sentimental Value, so it's a little hard for me to fully make a statement on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, truly, her role in One Battle After Another was, I mean, just out of the park. I think there is something really special about a supporting actor who you almost don't feel like should be in the supporting actor category. There's something to be said about, like, you know, making the role, like taking on the role and then making it something more than just a support. Now, Cora, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think Amy Madigan, I think she did amazing in Weapons. When I think of the film, first I think of the children running, and then I think of her character, because the whole design surrounding her, it really just makes the film. I don't think you could have the film in the same way without her and her acting. However, it is always interesting when two actresses from the same film go up against each other, like Elle Fanning and Inga. And I feel like it would be interesting to see how that would shake down if one of them were to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that is, well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. Now then, Lorelai, what are your thoughts?
I think what's her name from Sinners?
Wumi Musako. Wumi Musako?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wumi Musako from Sinners.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, could not remember her name. I think she did a great job with the emotion and connecting and like interacting with two different Michael B. Jordans, and just bringing that strong female character into the film.
I have to agree with you there. She has my vote as well. I mean, truly, what a strong performance. She is such a commanding presence in that movie. And spoilers, be warned, she really tugs at the heartstrings with her.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to spoil it. I know I said spoilers, but I don't want to be too off the deep end with it. However, her performance right up to the very end, just it hit something in me. Yeah. It really did. And yeah, I gotta say, as kind of bittersweet as it was, I really loved that ending too. Like seeing them reunite, that was beautiful. Josiah?
Honestly, I am very torn on this one. On one end, Inge Lilius, every scene, every shot, every emotion in her face, she does so much with so much subtlety. Subtlety is probably her best part of her performance, and the nuance she conveys in every scene, whether reacting to a piece of information or kind of trying to hold down her emotions as she is interacting with these people. And I thought that she was absolutely breathtaking. She was my favorite performance of the film. At the same time, however, Amy Madigan in Weapons was seeing that movie for the first time. Terrifying. Oh my gosh. Amy Madigan in that movie, what she does in both her campy, goofy moments as well as those serious, terrifying moments when she's threatening the children, it is incredible. And to see this like bonkers witch performance get an Oscar nomination to begin with is honestly astounding, and I'm really happy that she got in. As to which, I want either of them to win. I don't know which one will win. I don't know who's going to win this category, honestly. It's been very hectic with all the precursors, but I'm excited to see what happens.
Maybe they'll just, saw the award in half.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that.
Little King Solomon action.
See
who the real winner is. Well, now I have one quick question to add to the end of the discussion for the upcoming Academy Awards. Are there any films that you feel got snubbed by the Academy? Let's start with Lorelai.
Can't think of any off the top of my head, but I do think that Paul Mescal should have been considered for supporting actor, because it's like Jesse Buckley is the main character, but he is a good supporting, and I think he still supports the emotions and like her character and all the characters in the film. Like he holds a little nice little step stool for them,
Absolutely, he lays the foundation.
Exactly. There we go.
Yeah,
That's
of course, he lays the foundation for the emotional payoff in Hamnet. Like I think it is truly, it takes a lot of people to make a film work. You all know that as film majors, I'm sure. But it really does. It's really about all the actors there. And to quote one of the acting professors here at Messiah, it's not about looking good on stage. It's about making sure that your partner looks good. And that is true in movies as well. Now, bringing it around to Cora, who do you feel got snubbed?
Trying to think of movies that weren't nominated for anything. The only one I'm coming up with is Wicked for Good, but I wouldn't necessarily call that a snub. I would say the original Wicked, or part one, was one of the most. I walked out of the theater crying. It was one of the films that made me solid on my decision to be a film major, actually. But I mean, there's a whole discourse online about For Good, but I feel like it didn't quite live up to the wrapping everything up in a way. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think it was a bit of a disappointment of a film, honestly. Seeing it was just, I mean, hot take, bit of a letdown. I mean, we have, to be fair, we have, you know, decades worth of Wicked performances from, you know, from Broadway. And no, I'm not from Boston. They're performances of Wicked. I don't think they were that good, but I'm kidding. They were great. However, I think in making it, like bringing it into the, you know, the cinema format, like they did some amazing things. They had some really great parts, great moments, but the common consensus was that Wicked for Good was kind of for the worse. That's just my take, though. And you know, other people's as well. But Josiah, who do you think got snubbed? I know you got an answer.
Well, aside from Paul Mescal, that was very upsetting when he got snubbed.
Absolutely.
The biggest upset for me was it was just an accident getting snubbed. I remember that was a movie that was very much poised to get the Best Picture nomination. It was a near masterpiece. It was for starters, the director who made the film. He actually has an arrest warrant against him for making the film because the Iranian government doesn't like these topics that he covers, and he ended up taking his time in prison to kind of channel that type of experience into this film, and to see that now, first off, it got snubbed, and it only got, I believe, screenplay and international feature, which is still good, but it was really very much poised to get into those final top 10. It ended up losing out to, I think F1 eventually kind of snuck in, but it was just an accident was probably the one that I'm still a bit spiteful missing.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, I don't blame you for that. That is truly, like, it feels like such a loss, and it feels like the controversy of surrounding the film, like I guess the politics within it, just didn't seem to rub the Academy the right way, and it's truly unfortunate. But moving right along, Jimmy, what are your thoughts?
I mean, obviously, I think The Long Walk was, it was my favorite movie. So specifically though, in like the supporting acting categories, I feel like there's a ton of options there for supporting actors. I also think his name is slipping my mind right now, but the person who played the brother in Begonia, not Jesse Plemons' brother. I forget. Does anyone know the actor's name? Oof. It's slipping my mind right because this was like his first role. So, but I just thought he was really great. I also think, I mean, I'm a big fan of Weapons. Would love to see it get nominated for a little more. I could go on and on about how if the Academy actually had to read the screenplays and not just watch the movies, I think Weapons would have been nominated because it did some really amazing stuff if you read the screenplay, and some pretty like revolutionary stuff. But yeah, I think that especially for me, like the actors in The Long Walk were all amazing and like some of the greatest performances of the year in my opinion. Absolutely.
I think that's actually a really great point because frankly, there are so many standout supporting roles throughout that movie. Honestly, I feel like the hardest thing would be to pick just one. But that wraps up our discussion for the notable nominees of the 2026 Academy Awards. However, we have one more special thing planned, which is a game of poorly explained movies coming up right after the break. Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm Charlie Jones, and tonight our guests and I are going to play a quick little game of poorly explained movies. Now, the rules of the game are pretty simple. We've got two teams with two buzzers. Each member of the team is going to take a turn where they have to buzz in after I poorly explain the plot of a movie, and whoever gets it correct first gets the point. Whoever has the most points at the end wins this fabulous award here, compliments of the Ottoheimer Awards. Thank you so much, Sydney. Now, are we ready to play?
Yes.
Yes.
Seems mostly affirmative. Let's go. Alrighty. Now, for our first movie, a pair of two World War II veterans reunite to beat up a man with heart problems. What movie are we thinking?
not going.
First one to hit the buzzer gets to answer.
That's all you, dude.
Do you guys need a hint?
Per channel?
Yeah.
All right, let me think here. What would be a good hint for you? Don't want to give it away. Spider-Man's there.
Oh.
Jimmy.
I'm so loud. Captain America Civil War.
Ding, 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 you got it! That's 1 point on the board for Jimmy and Cora. Alrighty, if we want to hand off the buzzers, we'll be moving on into our next poorly explained movie. Now, a rich old woman tells scientists about the time she fell in love and then watched the man she loved drown.
Titanic.
Yes! Yes, it is! What a great memory. What a good movie, huh?
Yes.
Man, poor DiCaprio. He didn't get the Oscar for that. That's poor guy.
Maybe he'll win this year. We don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, he finally won it. I forget what movie he was in.
Revenant.
Revenant, yep.
Yes,
for
he fought a
Revenant.
bear.
Well earned. Well, moving right along to our next one. 2 men argue in a bathroom while a man with terminal cancer pretends to be dead.
Saw.
Yes, yes it is. It is the first Saw movie. That is the main plot of the movie. If you haven't seen it, sorry for spoiling it, but also it's been out for like 20 years now, dude. What are you doing?
You had your chance.
You really had your chance. Moving right along, let's see. A hero bonds with nature and helps their people fend off colonizers.
Avatar?
No!
No.
It is not Avatar.
Do we get a second chance?
You get to go again after Court.
Oh, shoot.
Do you need a hint? What are we thinking? Tarzan? No, unfortunately it is not Tarzan. Would you guys like a hint?
Are you serious?
Oh, so okay.
My
Yeah,
second
it was Pocahontas.
pick.
It was
Okay,
Pocahontas.
Avatar is Pocahontas in space.
We're going to say that's a point for both teams. So
Sure.
we're winning 3-2 over here. On to our next suggestion. Or a poorly explained movie. A teenage girl is forced to choose between a dog and a very old man. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one.
That's the right reaction to have.
That's a good one.
It's a great.
I keep knowing the other ones, but not these.
It's so fun to watch. Do you guys need a hint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that's so bad, it's good. And it is, a lot of the characters are very pale, and that doesn't help. There you go.
Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight.
I have not seen the Twilight movies.
You don't have to know they suck.
A dog is crazy.
I mean,
That was
A dog.
look, Taylor Lautner got that dog in him, and if you don't think so, we have nothing to talk about.
Amen.
Moving on, a man talks to strangers while waiting for the bus.
Forrest Gump.
Yes, it is! A lot of people forget that that's the overarching plot of the movie, that he's literally just waiting for the bus, but it's on the movie poster. That's why he has the box of chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, we have a man catfishes his entire family. This is the tie-breaking point.
Oh no, that's pressure.
Yeah. Go for it.
Van Hansen?
No. That would be a good one, though. Garrett Hansen?
That does, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's someone else's family he catfishes. Alrighty, I can give you guys a hint and we can reset the buzzers. Alrighty. This is a bit of an older movie, but a bit of a classic, and the actor it stars is unfortunately passed away. Or has unfortunately passed away. It's a comedy movie. and it involves cross-dressing.
Wait, no.
Josiah had it there for a second.
Oh. Oh! Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes!
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I love that
Lorelai for the
movie.
I
win!
can't believe I didn't get that.
With
That's
Mrs.
so
Doubtfire.
Oh.
I'm so disappointed in myself.
Well, Josiah and Lorelai, you
That
have
needs a
won our little
rewatch.
competition here. So you guys are awarded
Okay.
our little Oscar
You
here.
did okay.
We won
His
this
name
guy.
is Tim.
Tim. I love that.
Him.
What a wonderful little Tim.
Yes, of course. Thank you guys.
Got a little
Thank you
excited.
guys so much for joining us here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on and talk about movies with you for like an hour. Now, thank you so much for participating. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have, but stay tuned for next week's episode of YB Tonight and Falcon Update. I'm Charlie Jones, and good night, Messiah University.